What does success actually mean to you? Having a nice car, or a big salary, or the financial freedom? Most people spend decades chasing something they can't even define, and when they get it, they feel empty. Here's what nobody tells you. Success isn't a destination, it's a journey. And there are 5 distinct levels on that journey. Most people never even make it past the 3rd. A rare few reach the 4th, and most people never reach the last one. Maybe 3% of the population ever touches the 5th level. Level 1, survival. At this level, you are not thinking about goals, growth, or legacy. You are thinking about tomorrow. Can I pay rent this month? Will I have food on the table? Will the lights stay on? This is the day-to-day grind with no safety net, no breathing room, and no bandwidth to plan ahead. A significant portion of the world's population lives at this level, not because they lack ambition, but because the weight of immediate problems consumes every ounce of their energy. When you're in survival mode, your brain is literally wired differently. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for long-term thinking, takes a back seat to the amygdala, which is screaming at you to just make it through the day. If you're watching this from a position of stability, I want you to pause and feel some gratitude. Because the fact that you even have the luxury to think about your 5-year plan means you've already cleared one of the biggest hurdles most humans face. Survival is not failure. It is the foundation. And understanding it with compassion for yourself or others is the first step to moving beyond it. Level 2. Stability. This is where things start to breathe and the bills are paid. There's little money left over at the end of the month. You have a job, maybe not your dream job, but a reliable one. You're not panicking about every expense. For the first time, life feels somewhat in control. This is a massive achievement, and I want you to hear that clearly. Moving from survival to stability is one of the hardest transitions a person can make. It requires discipline, consistency, and often sacrifice. Building an emergency fund, getting out of debt, stabilizing your career, none of that is easy. But here's where a dangerous thing happens. Comfort. Stability feels so good after the chaos of survival that a huge percentage of people, I'd say close to 40% of the adult population, park themselves here and never leave. They confuse stability for success. They stop pushing. They tell themselves, I have everything I need, why risk it? And slowly the years go by. The dreams they once had get quieter and quieter until one day they can barely remember what they were. Stability is not the ceiling, it is the floor of a life well lived. Use it as a launch pad, not a hammock. Level 3. Success. You've climbed the ladder at work and you're earning good money. The house, the car, the vacations, they're happening, and you have a luxury life. By every external measure, you've made it. And if you post a highlight reel on social media, it looks incredible. But here's the trap nobody talks about, and I call it the "is this it" moment. You've achieved the goals you set in your past, and you're living the life you planned for. But instead of feeling fulfilled, you feel hollow. There's a restlessness you can't explain, an emptiness behind the achievements. A voice asking, is this really all there is? This is actually a sign of growth, not failure. It means your soul has outgrown the goals that your younger self set for you. Level 3 of success is built around getting the promotion or getting the money or getting the status. But at some point, getting stops being enough. The human spirit craves more than accumulation. It craves meaning. About 20% of people reach this level. And of those, the majority spend the rest of their lives accumulating more of the same, bigger house, newer car, more impressive title. Hoping that eventually will the hollow feeling go away? No, it won't. Not from this level. To fill it, you have to go up. Level 4, significance. This is where the game completely changes. Everything shifts from getting to giving. Instead of asking, what can I achieve? You start asking, how can I contribute? Instead of measuring your worth by what you've accumulated, you measure it by what you've helped create in others. At this level, you become a mentor, a builder of people. You use everything you've learned and earned not just to elevate your own life, but to elevate the lives around you. Maybe you coach the next generation of leaders in your field. Maybe you start a company that solves a real problem in the world. Maybe you pour yourself into a cause that will outlast any bonus check you've ever received. The shift to significance doesn't mean you give away everything and live like a monk. It means your motivation changes. The business you build now serves something bigger than your own bank account. The career you pursue now is aligned with your actual values. The relationships you invest in are ones that genuinely matter. Here's what's remarkable about level 4. People who reach it consistently report that they feel more alive, more energized, and more fulfilled than they ever did at level 3, often while working harder than ever. Because when your work has meaning, exhaustion feels different. It feels earned, and it feels purposeful. Only about 5% of people make it here. Most get blocked at level 3 because significance requires vulnerability. It means admitting that what you've been chasing wasn't the real thing. Level 5. Legacy. This is the level that transcends your lifetime. This is where you stop building things for yourself, stop building things even for the people around you, and start building things for a world you will never fully see. Think about the people who have shaped humanity, the teachers whose students went on to change industries, the writers whose words sparked movements decades after their deaths, the leaders who built institutions that outlasted empires, the parents who raised children so well that their values ripple forward through 4 generations. None of them were chasing legacy as a goal. Legacy was a byproduct of how deeply they committed to something greater than themselves. Level 5 is genuinely rare, not because people aren't capable of it, but because it requires a total dissolution of ego. You have to be willing to plant trees whose shade you will never sit under. You have to find meaning not in being recognized, but in knowing that what you're building is right, even if you never see the results. The people at level 5 are not always famous. Sometimes they're the small-town teacher who changed hundreds of lives, one student at a time. Sometimes they're the parent who broke a generational cycle of trauma and gave their children something entirely new. Legacy isn't about scale. It's about depth. It's about the permanence of your positive impact on the people and world around you. So which level are you on right now? Be honest with yourself. There's no shame in any answer. The point of this framework isn't to make you feel behind. It's to give you a map. Because now you know where you're standing, and more importantly, you know what the next level looks like. Here's what I want you to take away. Every single level has dignity. The question isn't whether you're capable of the next level. It's whether you're willing to. Comment below right now. What level are you on, and what's the one thing holding you back from climbing higher? I read every single comment, and let's talk about it. If this video opens something up for you, hit subscribe, because every week I put out content designed to push you further up.